now point them out. Making my babies proud, wanna call my mama a house. Coming straight out the south, gotta know juice to end the drought. Yeah. I bought like 23. Won't fall again and I put that on me. Yeah. I feel the way, my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah. That's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Coming for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this thing.
Today, from Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Pat O'Donnell set to kick off. It's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports.
From the 6. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10. At their own 27-yard line.
To about the 33-yard line. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line.
Here's Jacobs. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That's 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Mahomes firing complete, and he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. The numbers a week ago for Everett. 4 catches, 57 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and no.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. T.Y. Hilton. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really haven't. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You'll get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Leading them out, the reigning MVP of the National Football League in his 3rd season now from Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And I think the ball's out. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. They're already trailing here in this first quarter. Last thing they needed was to cough the football. Well, they coughed it up, but luckily for them, it went out of bounds.
Yeah, still a long way to go. But when you're losing, every possession takes on a little bit more importance, doesn't it? And in that case, they almost made this game a lot more difficult for themselves by turning it over. Fortunate there.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a quick throw as they get it to Ayuk outside. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
First down.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down. Well, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson. You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
At the 3-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Antonio Gibson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. In the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
First down.
They'll try the left side. Gibson. Past the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the second.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Antonio Gibson with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bucs have taken the lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Mahomes. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
With the score, Buccaneers 14, Broncos 7.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jacobs now. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A huge play there for Denver. 54 yards. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. Give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked him back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Julio Jones there to make the grab. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Gostkowski with the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd, they're getting their money's worth right now.
And the fantasy owners like it.
Oh, without a doubt. They're just tallying them up, aren't they?
They're watching this game. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Jackson. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Gain of 23.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 38. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing is Jackson. And he'll get this to Antonio Gibson complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Broncos will take over on downs. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation. Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
He's brought down at the 30.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
1st down.
A good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions. And they're
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on set and change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he'll go down at the 28. The first down screen pass, good for 5. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. They'll find Everett there, complete. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And his throw here's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Once more for Hilton, and this time complete. And the Broncos are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. His pass caught at the 4. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Second and goal from the 1. To throw once more. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. It's the fullback as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos have broken the tie.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Returning it, John Ross. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. And we will skip the highlight show this week, get right back to this Week 3 matchup.
14.
A touchdown the differential, a 7-point game as we get back underway in quarter number 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the 3rd quarter. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start the 3rd quarter here on the ground. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 42 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now Jackson on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They go play action with Jackson, rolling to his left. He's going to take off with it, and he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
With 3 scores in this game, I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum,
skirt
filet
steak,
at maximum.
You can't give the guy a skirt steak his first 3 times.
Filet, 10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine.
At their own 25-yard line.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Most of the damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game is not all right. It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
The ball carrier.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb.